Hello and welcome to a Saturday chat with Big Scott 35. I haven't done one of these in probably a couple of weeks. Life happens, and also I think last Saturday I was going to, and actually I'm still having shoulder issues, so that's been hampering me quite a bit. I need to get on here and answer uh, a lot of uh, comments, which I am shamefully way behind on. Um, and it's the same thing. It just hurts. Like today, I'm gonna be doing my Mets first decade of Mets and tops, uh, and I have the complete run. I've had it for a while since last year's national. Just haven't showcased it. Actually, I believe I have the 60s, 70s, and I'm darn close to the 80s. I've gotten all the bigger cards in the the problem. Let me talk about this real quick, and I'll talk about it again. Then the problem with today's market is we're trying to change what the past is, and I think this is something that my man uh, Victor talks about, but in roundabout ways. When in the 80s, the trade, the card that was in the traded set was not the rookie card. The rookie card was the one the following year for the reasons why, because it was in a pack that was sold, blah, blah, blah. But the traded set card was always, to me, I didn't even know what they were at the time because I never saw them. I didn't have an LCS that had them, and that was the only places you could get them, from my understanding, unless somebody could tell me something different. I never saw them in the Woolworths or Nichols, 7-Elevens, uh, Toys R Us's, wherever cards outside. Because in the 80s, they haven't blown up yet where they were in every gas station out there. But for some reason, it's the Doc Gooden and Daryl Strawberry traded cards have kind of surpassed their actual rookie cards, and they're labeled rookie cards. And that's fine. And it might be factual that the rarity of them plays in a fact to that, which I agree with. So I would want them to be similar in prices. But it seems like now, because we call the updated and extended series or whatever else comes out, which comes in pack form in boxes in retail also, we have changed the definition of cards in the past. And I'm not liking that for an old school guy like me. Uh, but anyway, I have them. I didn't like the prices I had to pay just to get raw, and I wanted something halfway decent. I mean, I've talked about it before. It's tough. It's easy to find the nice cards. It's harder to find the ones that were well loved. In a lot of cases, some of us guys, we just want the card. We don't want it to look like the dog got a hold of it, like in Sandlot, which I finally watched. So we want something. I don't need pristine, but I want something that doesn't look like somebody had it in their bike spokes. I have some of that from my dad that way, and I'm happy to have them. That means something totally different. But other than that, when I go out to buy them, I want something halfway decent. So we'll be showing that off today. The week I kind of had a full week. Sunday night, very happy to have Mike Moynihan, baseball collector, very busy guy. I was happy to have him on. We had Mike O. I guess it was his first time on, having some technical difficulties. Made me laugh. Mike is Mike. So That was fun having us. And then Natsman came on, so we had a four corners on here, and I had a lot of fun. That hour went by fast. So and then let's see. Wednesday showed off a couple of PSA cards. I was very happy to put back in my collection. Some beautiful Pete Alonso's rookies. Well, were they both rookies? I know the auto. Yeah, they were both rookies. The auto and in the camo debut, I believe it was. No, the gold debut that I purchased from Mike O. So very happy. I got a 10 and a 9. I believe I have them right here. I can show them off real quick. Yep, right here. Have not put them up yet. My area around where I sit, it just looks like it's a collector's desk. I have cards everywhere. But yeah, I got these two back. This auto, which I bought at Chantilly. Funny story. Guy had a price on it. I was like, is that the best you can do? And he was like, and then he went up on it. He goes, that's the best I can do. And I was like, well, and I threw out a price. And he went for that. I believe I paid like $125 for this, which even now that's a good price, but it was really good then. He had it in a magnetic, and it came back at 10. So definitely did well on that one. Very funny guy. This was the 9 that I got in the gold. So, which I have a very good amount of the run of that year in chrome and base. And I have it in other stuff too. Holiday, sapphire. I don't have sapphire color ones, but I do have the sapphire base. And most of them are 9s. I think it's that hockey stick. It throws off the alignment. It's hard to see centering on it to before you send it in or to purchase when you get it raw. So I've been having a tough time with that. But I'll take 9s. I mean, I'm not. It's still at the top. It says mint. We failed to see that a 9 in PSA does say mint. It's a mint card. It's just not gem mint. We forget that in our rush to everybody wants that 10, and I don't blame them. I mean, if I could, I'd have all my cards at 10, but it's not. Even if I was a rich man, I think when I would see the price differences between a 9 and a 10 premium, especially in PSA, I would go with 9s all day long. I would believe that. If I won the lottery tomorrow, I think I'd believe that in me. Just how my brain, the way it's working. Then let's see, Thursday, did my Nerdy Thursday, had some great pickups. They've actually, because they're in the way, so I got put those up, and had some stuff that I love: videos, games, Stormtroopers, Suka. I can't wait for the live action to start up. Yeah, so that was fun. And then today, do the catching up with the week. I mean, it was a good week. Get my personally, I'm getting my shoulder stronger. I'm going to hopefully be able to keep the camera steady to show off my decade run of Mets cards. And let's get to it. All right. Well, this is going to be my 60s showcase, or the decade 62 through 70. So we have Casey Stengel there, first manager, Roger Craig, Richie Ashburn with the Mets. Let's see, who else do we have here? Don Zimmer, another great manager. these rookie parades, man, high number. They were, me and Mike were talking when I first started. He was the one that gave me, I got the idea from. He did a showcase on his channel for the Phillies, which kind of envious because the Phillies go way back, but I'm not envious because of the prices. These we were talking, you got to get some type of basic card in high numbers, and they're going to cost. So these rookie parades, I believe two of them were like over $100. They were tougher. I mean, trying to think who's on them. Yeah, I don't think. Trying to read them. Nothing. Nobody like crazy, but it was just pretty expensive. Uh, just love these cards. I tried to do the best I could, knowing it was just a showcase. I didn't want them, all the corners chewed up. Richie Ashburn again, Al Jackson. Al Jackson in that first year was pricey too as a rookie. I'm not going to lie on that one. Got Gil Hodges. But if you're thinking about doing that, just a reminder, you go to the high numbers, it don't matter who they are a lot of times. They can be tough, tough pricing. So I just kind of had to get the best I can get for the pricing. A lot of these I picked off of sport lots, especially in the 70s and 80s when I get up to there. That's the Duke Snyder card with the Mets. So it's those were cheaper. I did pick them up in lots at shows. When you go to a show, and I'll be a guy with books of vintage, sets. I picked up a lot of the base cards and ones that are commons there. Got good prices on those. Worked with some people. And in the big cards, you kind of got to just buy on your own, seek help, things like that. Like this one, I'll go through later, and my plan is to finish it and then go back and try to upgrade. Like, would love to have this in a better centering. I just love this card. Casey teaches. I wish it was a little bit better centered. That's my plan later. No hurry. I have so many different things that I'm doing. It's just I don't have the hobby money. I talk about it all the time. I got to pick and choose what I'm doing. And actually, this hobby, my hobby money went to Mike. Opened up several boxes of Heritage, which I do have a box of myself. But there's such a big set. It's hard to get some of the cards in it. I have not opened any of mine yet, but I went ahead and got some of stuff that he had. So I used my hobby money there this week, buy Pete's and things like that most likely I'm not going to get into one box that I open. But Heritage is one of those in the past has been one that sits on the shelves in stores. So we'll see. That's Warren Spahn with the Mets. Mets were bad, so they got a lot of people. This card was surprisingly pricey. Clayton Jones, good player, not surprised by that, but it was. It's Yogi Berra with the Mets. I miss team cards. Miss them. Wish they'd bring them back. Who cares if it's like you do it in preseason and it's not the same team at the end of the year? Just have one. How many changes do you really make in a year? Tug McGraw. Some of the tugs, man, they were pricey. I was surprised with how bad the Mets have been in the early part, how pricey some of the cards were. I didn't think until I got up until the Nolan Ryan and Seaver, but some of these, had to hold off a little bit, try to get the best I could, and then then finally go back and get what I could get. I mean, that's just the way it is. Just trying to put a set together. Didn't need to be all tens. Don't need to be all sixes. Collector's grades for these. You would like to. I mean, man, I would love to. I'd love to have this all graded set, but that's just way crazy. Doing that with the 71 set, and that's just crazy in its own. Um, I was making good headway, not good headway. It's just so many cards. I think I got about a seventh of it done. But it's slow process and just have fun doing it. Just be happy. If you're not happy, don't do it. The Seaver story, bought it last year's National, picked it up. It's got the corner damage. It was authentic. And he goes, the guy was surprised. He thought he should have had it graded and authenticated. And I flipped it over and I go, to me, it looks trimmed, especially down here, up there. Definitely somebody rounded the corners. So I cracked it out, put it in here. The guy was ready to fight me, though. I said, I'm not blaming you. It looks trimmed. I go, I'm going to buy it. That was a perfect card I wanted for this. Like, I got it cheaper because of that. It just, cracked it, put it in here. Nolan Ryan, that was a tough one. Got a little color on there. Of course, you got Jared Kuzman on there as well. People forget that. Kuzman was a great player as well. Tug McGraw, I believe that might have been his rookie year as well. That might have been the year before. Art Shamsky, Tommy Agee. Yeah, that was Kuzman's rookie year. Yeah, because he got the trophy. Nolan Ryan didn't, because Nolan Ryan, when he was a rookie, wasn't all that great. Wasn't all that great for the Mets at all, actually. So he didn't really become the Nolan Express till later in his career. Tug McGraw and Kuzman were the guys. Bud Harrelson, great Seaver. In 1970, world champions. I have a project where I have 69 cards. I picked those up autographed, in-person autographs. Have a few, just something to work on. But again, I only have so much hobby dollars. See how that Seaver's so off-centering later. Hopefully I'll get a better one. But I had to buy what I could afford, 1970s stars are not cheap. It's kind of cheaper than 71, but 70s are still tough. I mean, look how beat up I had to get this Kuzman because I just couldn't afford, I can get this one and buy all of these or buy just this one. So that's kind of the way I had to think of things, But that's it. We'll do the 70s in a future one. Back to you, Scott. Thank you, Scott, for that. And now on to the week there will be. So continue my Let's Talk series on the road to the national. Somebody that I've gotten pretty close to over the last few years. Started out as somebody just following him on his Facebook group for SGC information and information in general. And I think we've shared a lot between us is baubles and ball cards. So he will be on. He's got a new adventure he's into, but him and his wife will be, I believe, hosting a group is probably the best term I can have at the National. They have a strip of hotel rooms there with a group. I stayed with them last year. Great hostess. Mrs. Bobbles goes way above and beyond as a person. Both of them, they're just awesome people. So can't wait to have them on. We'll have Mike O as my co-host again. Nats Man hopefully back on again tomorrow night. If he's not, he was at the pool yesterday, and I think the high around here was in the 60s. So he is ready for the summer, but it's rainy this weekend. So in this area, so we'll hopefully have everybody here, talk a little national and just in the hobby itself, in life. You know how we are. We're all over the place on that one. The week there is, I actually have a SGC return. Nothing huge. The special on Bowman cards, I took that advantage of that. Sent in 6 Bowman rookie cards. Not many people think of that. They're thinking first cards or autos. I sent in rookies that I purchased on Mike O's channel. A lot of rookies that have not been in top series yet did very well. When I opened it, so I didn't look. I forgot I even had it out. I went to my PO box, pulled it out yesterday, and went, "Oh yeah." Got home. It was a blind reveal. I was like, "Holy smokes!" So I'm so excited to show that off and talk about that on Wednesday. And a couple of cards that just trickle in. I've only purchased a handful of cards this week. Couple that I'm very happy. Great stories behind. I want to save that for Wednesday. Hopefully have a nerdy Thursday, and we'll go from there. But I hope everybody had a great week. Enjoy themselves. Have a great Memorial weekend. I hope yours is sunny and warm wherever you're at. Better than what we'll have here in our area. But I think most people have a 3-day weekend, so enjoy it. Enjoy your families. Remember the ones that paid the ultimate sacrifice in their service to our country. And until next time, we'll see you.